Okay, now we're going to be moving on to the running backs for our NFL pre-draft player rankings. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to explain.
AJ, you could go.
Yeah, so I'll go first like we did last time. So my number one is probably everyone's number one in the world, Ezekiel Elliott. He's just an amazing prospect. Probably going to go top, I think it should go top 10. He's this year's Todd Gurley. Like, I just think that he's that.
People were comparing him to Adrian Peterson.
He's so big and strong, and yet he's so fast, and he can catch passes out of the backfield. He's not one-dimensional like other running backs, like my second guy, Derrick Henry. He can play the entire field. And he was just amazing for Ohio State the past few years.
Yeah.
So that's why he's definitely number one. Derrick Henry is my number two. He's from Alabama. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know how he won. Christian McCaffrey should have won, but that's for another date. Derrick Henry is a one-dimensional, like I said before. He's a between the tackles, putting your shoulder down. He's basically Chris Ivory or like other guy that can't really remember. Like Garrett Blunt. He's basically them.
But he's a better version of them. I'd
yeah,
say
he's a better. He's a
Ivory.
younger, faster version. But again, he is one-dimensional. He's still probably going to go first, second round, and he should because he's great at doing what he does. It's just that people want versatility.
People were comparing him, I believe, to a Brandon Jacobs type player.
Yeah. So people want players now.
Fast, yeah.
Sorry, players. Teams want versatility now with their players, and he's just not that versatile. He's just put me in the game and I'll run you over. That kind of mentality. So yeah, that's why I have number two. Number three, Devontae Booker. He was great. He had great stats for Utah last year. I have to put up the stats because I just can't remember them. But he's a speedy type of guy, and he's almost like Ezekiel Elliott, but he wasn't that great last year. His senior year wasn't that good, but his junior year was amazing. That's what put him on the map. I'm actually gonna look up his stats while you guys talk about something else.
Did you finish your fifth guy?
I'll finish that. My fourth guy is Alex Collins, and he stepped in for, I forget the guy who he stepped in for in Arkansas, but he was also good. He's like Jonathan Williams. He's Derrick Henry, but like a lesser version of him, and he still put up amazing stats. And again, with these running backs, they want versatility. That's why I have him number 4. He's, again, a big, bruising running back. And then finally, Jordan Howard of Indiana. People say they have him going, I'm pretty sure, third or fourth round, I'm pretty sure. I didn't really know much about him, but when I looked at the stats, they were pretty good for. And again, the running back position is just like Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, and then no one behind him.
I got his stats for you, AJ.
Okay.
Devontae Booker you won 2014 or 2015? His better year or his worst year?
His better year.
His better year was 2014.
Yeah.
292 attempts, so he's a workhorse. 1,512 yards, 5.2 yards on average, which is very good for having 300 attempts, and had 10 touchdowns. And in 2015, I'll give you this one as well, 268 attempts, 1,261 yards, 4.7 average, and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, so like I said,
and he caught the ball a little bit as well.
He didn't produce. He produced in his junior year. We'll put him on the map, but he didn't really up his game the next year.
Yep. Okay, so I'll go now.
I just have Jordan Howard stats really quick because I said I would. He had 1,213 yards on 200 carries. But the year before that, he was with Alabama Birmingham. I don't think you guys. I think they're in. Oh wait, that's UAB. I don't know what I'm talking about. They had Alabama Birmingham, but yeah, he was from UAB the year before, so he transferred to Indiana. He had 300 attempts.
Yeah.
At UAB, 300. I mean, we think that DeMarco Murray gets a lot when he gets 250.
That's different.
I know that's different, but this guy got 300. And so his stats at UAB were great. It was probably even better here at Indiana. It was 1,213 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he caught the ball better than he did in past years. 106 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's just his stats.
Okay. So I have mine.
We're very different about this.
Our endings are different. It goes for me, Ezekiel Elliott for obvious reasons, Derrick Henry because he just seems like he's probably the best bruising back, I'd say, in this draft. Devontae Booker. And then here's where things get different. I have 2 people for 4th. Kenneth Dixon from Louisiana Tech and Jordan Howard.
He's the guy that rose up port.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Kenneth Dixon because you just previously explained Jordan Howard. So the reason why I say Kenneth Dixon is he's just a relentless runner. If you look, I was looking at his highlights. Oh my gosh, like when you just see his highlights, you're like, wow. Like he fights for those extra yards. He's a skinnier, more like Thomas Rawls type back, but like he hits the hole. He's not afraid. He doesn't. You'll see like sometimes running backs will like surrender to a defender, like let him push him out of bounds or like kind of give into a tackle when they know they're pretty much going to go down. He fights constantly, 100% of the game, always fighting. And I saw him catching the ball. He's made plays catching the ball that I haven't seen from receivers catching the ball. Like, I saw this one highlight where he was, like, double covered by, like, a safety and a linebacker and, like, made this crazy toe touch in the end zone. It was ridiculous. You guys should definitely look up his highlight tape on YouTube. But it was phenomenal what he did, and I love him personally. Honestly, I say he might even be third. I had him as my higher fourth out of Jordan Howard and him. Again. He, like you said, he's a smaller version of Thomas Rhodes. I think that teams love that. Like, the fan base would love that. He's 5'10", 215, and yet he's going to go second round. He's like one of the big prospects out of a small school. He can do it all. That's what I love.
He's going to be a fan favorite, I think, because of what you said. That's all I have to say.
And this guy, Kenyan Drake,
I heard
from Alabama. A lot of people forgot about him because of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad because if you look up his highlights, because I like to see the players because I play football and I like watching college players play, but I love him. He's not going to be the bruising back. He's not going to be your every down back, but he's that third down back that on a 3rd and 14th when you want to give a draw. Just to catch him off guard when everybody thinks you're going to pass, he'll get the 14 yards because he's so nifty. He never stops moving his feet. He's always going, always making people miss. He's so fast, so explosive. His cuts, his agility are ridiculous. And he's also a great special teams player, which gives him another advantage there. And he's only been overlooked because he was injured, which allowed Derrick Henry to get as good as he did.
People probably know him because of 2 years prior to the draft, like he was their main back and he did amazing and he stayed in school.
So he's definitely very, very, very good and don't sleep on him. He's not going to come out and be like an Adrian Peterson, but as like a backup third down special teams type player that you could get in your later rounds, he is a perfect fit. Perfect fit.
Alright, so my turn. First three, for obvious reasons, same as these guys. Ezekiel Elliott, Derrick Henry, Devontae Booker, in that order. After that, I'm going with someone nobody said before, CJ Prosise.
I've heard of him from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. This guy, I mean, I've been watching some of his highlights and everything. I've been looking up his stats, his numbers at the combine. He ran a 4.48 40-yard dash, not exactly the fastest, but not slow either. He's 6 feet, 220 pounds out of Notre Dame. He was their leading rusher after getting over 1,000 yards and 11 scores on just 150 carries, by the way. That's over 6 yards a carry. He also had over 300 receiving yards and a touchdown. I just feel like this guy, he has size, 6 feet, 220. He's patient, like if you watch his highlights and whatever. He just looks like a runner that can be a do-it-all back, you know, a guy that can be an every down player in this league, and I feel like, that's important. Lastly, I have Alex Collins.
In case everyone wanted to know CJ Prosise's stats, he had 156 in 10 games, 156 attempts, 1,032 yards. That's how I say my numbers. And 11 touchdowns. And also, he produced in the receiving end. He had over 890. Oh no, I'm looking at the total. I'm sorry. He had 308 receiving yards and a touchdown. So yeah, he is that do-it-all back, like you said. But go on.
And lastly, just like you were saying earlier, I have Alex Collins out of Arkansas. I feel like you said, he's a hard runner, hits the holes, but he's more of a Chris Ivory. He's more of a ground and pound guy. And that's pretty much it about that guy. That pretty much wraps up the running backs, really.
Yeah, so we're going to do what we did with the last video. We're going to go over the guys that we missed, and we had a lot of diversity in this one.
Yeah.
Not the same with the quarterbacks. We had a lot of diversity. And people that we missed, that some people probably have, are Jonathan Williams. He's the guy who was it the other way around? Did Alex Collins replace Jonathan Williams, or did Jonathan Williams replace Alex Collins?
I'm not familiar with him.
I think Alex Collins replaced him.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
and
he definitely did.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams was supposed to be really good, and then he got hurt, and then you saw what happened with I can't think of his name now, Alex Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Paul Perkins is a guy that goes 3 or 4th round. He's from UCLA. He's a little jitterback, like you said, with Kenneth Dixon, same size. So yeah, we had a lot of diversity, so we didn't really miss out on anybody. So yeah, that's basically it for NFL draft player rankings for the running back. But now we're gonna move on to the wide receiver.